Hello, this is Renee Weiler, and today is February 20th, 2023, and it's President's Day. Happy President's Day to all. Today we are in Chester County, Pennsylvania, and we just sent an audit on a homeowner who had a forged mortgage assignment recorded in Chester County, and this was recorded by HSBC Bank. So we notified Sheriff Freda Maddox. She is running for judge, and we need her attention on all of these fraudulent recordations in Chester County. So we have 6 of them, and what we are doing today is looking at Mullen, which is a beautiful home, and the address is 9 Douglas Lane, Chester Springs, Pennsylvania. And homeowner sent me a sample of 6 samples, and this is one of them. And you will see that Wells Fargo was involved in this assignment. So the assignment was recorded on December 30th, 2013. And so what happens is that the date of the mortgage is 4/26/2007. This mortgage assignment was not recorded until 2013. So it's assigned 5+ years after the loan closed, which is evidence of tax evasion on the part of whoever concocted this fraudulent mortgage assignment. And it involves $1 million loan. So this is something that we need the sheriff, the constitutional sheriffs throughout the nation to look at. So this was, Wells Fargo is involved, HSBC Bank, Kong-Shanghai Banking Corp is involved in this too. I believe this is not non-MERS. It is not registered. I don't see any evidence that it was registered in mortgage electronic registration systems. So here again, here is the big, beautiful Mullen house. And apparently it sold for $1,350,000 on April 26, 2007, according to Redfin. So this homeowner needs to know what's going on with this mortgage assignment, because it is assigned without the note and its obligation. So when you assign the note without the note and its obligation, you actually nullify the mortgage. And so you'll see this one, Mullen is just like Zocali that we did the other day. And so we're going to move on with another sample here. Now this is a MERS loan. Name on it is Powers. The Powers home is right here. What a big, beautiful home this is. Now, I do believe this one was involved in potentially a fraudulent foreclosure. This was probably used, and some judge probably signed off on HSBC Bank, Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corp, to assign this mortgage without the note. You will not see anything on this document. And so here's the date it was recorded. And so the date of the mortgage was 11/14/2005. The date of the mortgage assignment is 9/20/2011. So that's almost, I guess, 6 years after the closing, they decide to finally assign this mortgage. I don't think so. This is a fraud and a forgery. And so what I did is I looked into, this is the property, 595 Birmingham Road. And I looked into MERS, put the address in there. So I did a search by property address only. And the reason you're not going to find any mortgage identification number when you put in this address is that it is not secure to the address. It can't be, because it was nullified on, what date is this? It was nullified when the date of the assignment, 9/20/2011. That's when HSBC nullified this mortgage by assigning it without the note and its obligation. So we're going to go down to show you another one that we pulled, and this is, let's see, this is a MERS loan, and you will see that this one is assigned with the note and its obligation. So this would be a correct assignment. This is the way you would want to do it. But the problem with this one is that it has been assigned 5+ years after the date of the closing, which can't happen because you have to do that within 90 days of the closing. So what has happened, for instance, when I first entered the business in 1992, I entered into mortgage banking as a loan originator. We actually had people that would drive between the title companies, or runners we called them, and they would get the assignment signed within 48 hours of our closing, because that's the way it was supposed to be done. But at some point, the banks decided to go rogue, and they decided that they no longer had to do this. They can get around the rules. Well, when they do that, this one would look like it would be fine because you have the note and the obligation being assigned with the mortgage. However, this is the problem. The dates are out of whack here. We have 6/11/12 is the day of the assignment. So that is a tax evasion issue. And so we will be sending this one, along with the other ones that are in this sample, to the IRS whistleblower's office, because this is evidence of tax evasion. So somebody, HSBC, and probably Wells Fargo as well, will need to answer some questions in regards to what did they do with this money and why didn't they pay taxes on it. So it's a $291,500 mortgage, and it is a MERS mortgage. So what we'll do now is we're going to go over to McClatchy, and McClatchy is another one that is signed without the note and its obligation. So once again, we have the date of the mortgage being 12/20/2006. The date of the mortgage assignment is 4/9/2012. Nope, you can't do that. So it's signed 6 years after the closing, and this is an example of tax evasion on the part of PHH Mortgage Corporation, which was formerly Aquin, who got into a lot of trouble. Here we have Sherry Klish preparing this monstrosity, and she's also notarizing it. How interesting is that? And so Sherry Klish needs to answer for this, and she needs to be probably in jail, is what I would think would be a good solution for her forgeries here. We then go over to Hardy, which is also a HSBC forgery. And this one is concerning because this is a discharge. So Hardy paid their mortgage to someone. It looks like, who is it? HSBC again. So they paid it to China. And HSBC, Hong Kong-Shanghai Banking, does not own this because the date of the mortgage was 6/29/2007. The date of the mortgage assignment was 7/14/2011. Was assigned 4 years after the closing. No. It has to be assigned 90 days after the closing. Otherwise, this is a securities failure and a tax evasion situation involving mortgage electronic registration systems. If we go down and do a search on Hardy in MERS, you will see that there are no mens can be located because this cannot be attached to the address, and this is a property address only search because it was nullified. So it was nullified when they assigned the mortgage without the note, and the date of that nullification would have been 7/14/2011. So that's why you're not going to see it in the records of mortgage electronic registration system. If we go back to McClatchy here, this is another one that was signed without the note and its obligation. We did a MERS search on this, and we did it by MIN number, and it shows up when you put the mortgage identification number in with PHH, and the date is 12/20/2006, and it's inactive. So what we did is we went to do a search by address or by the situs to prove that it's not secure, that it's an unsecure bogus debt. And so we put the address in and did a property address only search, and you will see no MINs, no mortgage identification numbers can be located that match the criteria of this address right here, because once again, they assigned the mortgage years after the closing. And that's a no-no. Thank you for watching.